Hey, what's up everybody? Rob Gill, Epic Financial Strategies, and today we're going to talk about what is the average savings rate for baby boomers. And it looks a little bit dismal, but we do have the solutions. Okay, so this is an important question because according to Transamerica, their statistics say the average savings rate for a baby boomer is $144,000. However, they're not really clear on what bucket this money's in. In other words, is it a savings account? Is it inside a qualified 401k, which means when that comes out, it's going to get taxed at ordinary income? Is it a Roth 401k? Is it under the mattress? Is it inside a after-tax brokerage account? So we don't know exactly what that number is pertaining to what bucket it's in, but we do know because people are living longer lives, that's not a healthy number. So here's the challenge for the baby boomers. And like anybody else, but specific to the baby boomers for today's conversation, is the discipline on how they save. What does their credit card debt look like? What do the student loans that they're co-signing for their kids look like? What does the level of risk look like in where they're saving their money? So from a discipline standpoint, once again, we always talk about this, it's important to start, no matter what age, with an investment philosophy. And even if you have to make some shifts right now, today, based on where you're at, knowing that 2020 has been a year of massive disruption, it's important to really zero in on a philosophy first. And when we talk about massive disruption, once again, there's a phrase in the investment world called sequence of returns rate risk. Sequence of return rate risk very simply means what age are you when the market is with your money going through volatile times, and how is that impacting what you could take out without outliving your money for the next 20 or 30 years. So if we understand that that market volatility is a risk that ties into a baby boomer who's past 65, and we understand that they're at the risk of sequence of returns rate risk, it's important to understand how does that tie into your philosophy. Are you talking to your fiduciaries, and are your fiduciaries on the same page with your accountant? Very important information. You have to look into that. That's part of the solution. And like everything else in this world or in this universe, things are constantly moving, specifically taxes. So if you went and did your homework, you'll realize they've changed the tax code since the mid-60s a lot of times. And usually it's based on who's in office, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican. And how does that factor into the small spot of what age you are as a baby boomer? What does that look like with your pension? And by the way, remember, if you have a pension and you're in a state that could go bankrupt, the unfunded or underfunded liabilities on that pension, the rules could change even while you're getting your distributions, because no longer can a state afford your pension. So it's important to understand taxes because pensions get taxed at ordinary income for the most part. It's also important to understand what kind of bucket your money's in. And when you take distributions, what tax bracket are you in those distributions? For example, if you're taking $100,000 out and you're in a 30% tax bracket, okay, so you're getting $70,000. If you're in a 20% tax bracket, does the 100 grand bump you up to 30? Because remember, every dollar grosses your taxes up and it puts you in a higher tax bracket. Very important to understand that dynamic. And last but not least, let's talk about the word retirement. I'm not even sure if that word even exists anymore. What do I mean? Who at 65 can retire right now and think that, and there's a small portion that can, but think if you live to 90, you're not going to outlive your money if you're not properly planned. So I believe that as 10,000 baby boomers a day reach age 65, which are basically some of the numbers that we hear out there right now, the question is, you may retire from being a teacher, police officer, corporate executive, but are you actually going to retire or step into a new business with all the technology at your fingertips, being able to work at home? I don't really think the name retirement has the same energy that it may have had in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Every single day, in every single way, here at Epic, we grow stronger and stronger, and we're bringing content to you on a daily basis. If you'd like to hear more, click the link below and hit the subscribe button, and we will bring the energy and provide world-class data for you to absorb on a daily basis.